I get this question all the time, and because I've watched my parents do insurance sales for over 25 years by now, what is the difference between old school selling versus social selling, right? In other words, what's the difference between sales 30, 40, 50 years ago versus sales today in 2023? So I'm gonna touch on this topic by first saying I love my parents to bit. They are the reason why I'm here, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So tell your parents that you love them, right? Most important thing. But watching them do insurance sales in Malaysia for over 20 something years is very interesting, having and watching them evolve and pivot with the times. Because, you know, I remember back in the day, if you understand how insurance worked, basically when you get prospects, want to turn them to clients, you have to meet them in person. Like where we're from, trust is not built over the phone. There's no Zoom back then. They literally had to meet in person at coffee shops, at restaurants, at stores to do deals, right? Clients wouldn't give you money unless you actually met them face to face. So I remember very vividly when I was young, sitting in my mom's car where she would like drive around town meeting her clients. And that's like one of the first things I realized from like old school selling is that there's still a lot of in-person sales. Now don't get me wrong. Obviously in 2023, we still do in-person sales. I'm not saying that that's not a good thing, but I'm saying that in 2023, with social selling, with the word social media, everything can be done remotely. If you're selling in person today, but you could sell online or remotely over Zoom or the phone, why would you not do that? Now I get culture and I get, you know, wanting to go above and beyond, but really let me ask you the question, are you making the income you wanna make? If you're making $1 million a year right now with sales and you're doing in person, great. If you love that, cool. But if you're not, then have you considered switching to remote sales so you can do more, so you can make more money, but also work from the comforts of your own home, right? And so old school selling was a lot of in-person. We're in 2023, social media is prevalent, right? Social media is here to stay, and we've got a lot more opportunities to sell on Zoom and the phone. So going back to my story with my mom traveling around town, and I vividly remember that going around paying for food, for drinks, right? Like coffee, just to collect a $50 check. I mean, in my mind, I was like, dang, if that was what it took to do sales, I'm not gonna do sales because it's so much work for what? For like a very small piece of the pie, right? Now again, you got obviously in-person sales, like yacht sales, private jet sales, right? Those have to be in person, I get that. You're selling luxury homes, right? I mean, of course, it's in person. I'm not saying that everything is going to be social, but hey, look, there's parts of that deal process, that sales process that can be online. If you're selling a house, you're selling a private jet, you're selling a yacht, you better have a very nice video walkthrough, 3D setup, where you can like have prospects watch it before they even come meet you. What's the point meeting a prospect that hasn't watched the video walkthrough, that's gonna hate the interior of the house or the interior of the private jet, right? And they're gonna come waste your time and waste their time. You might as well send them that video, put it on your website so they can watch it beforehand. And when they do decide to come, they know what they're expecting. So that's a really first key difference, is that things have gone online, things have gone virtual, okay? Besides traveling with my mom, right? Going around town, meeting people in person. And that's cool. I mean, that's fun to a certain degree, right? You're meeting new people, you're traveling around looking at the city. The second thing that's like a big difference that sticks out to me now, because I've been doing virtual sales for the past 4 years, right? I think before COVID, when COVID work from home became cool, I was doing it when it was before it was cool. I was doing working from home 4.5, 5 years ago already, which was amazing, right? And when COVID hit, it was like nothing even changed for us, or for me. I want you to experience the same thing too, right? That's why I say virtual for the first point. The second point goes to how you prospect, how you nurture your leads, right? Because we all know that in order to get a sale, we need lead gen and we need lead nurture. You can't get a sale without a prospect, without a lead, and you can't get a sale without nurturing that lead, right? So back in the day, I think what was very common was like TV ads, billboards, and that's still common today, radio ads, right? Very cool stuff that still worked, right? But look at the fastest growing companies today. Even if you look at like billion-dollar companies, like Fortune 100 companies, they are the largest spenders on Facebook Meta ads. Billions of dollars spent on advertising on social media platforms. Not even that much spent on TV anymore, or radio, or billboards, or newspaper, print. So old school selling, right, would be using those platforms. New school selling, right, lead nurture, is through social media. Sending Instagram DMs, sending LinkedIn DMs, right? Heck, even running ads, right? If you want to call somebody, you can scrape their data from online lead lists. You don't have to go look at a Yellow Pages book and like try to write everyone's number down. You could literally download, buy people's data online. Everything's online, social, right? And so the second thing is that it's just that lead nurture, lead gen prospecting has also gone online. The last difference between old school selling and social selling I believe, is the way people sell. If you say salesperson to most people in the world, unfortunately, they still have a very negative connotation to what that means. They think of slimy, snake oil, sleazy, used car sales guy. And I don't blame them, right? Because I'm not trying to blame the older generation too, I'm not saying, but a lot of people sell in a very desperate, egotistical, salesy, pushy, aggressive, manipulative way. And it's not fun. Hey, buy this now, and I'm gonna give you a discount if you buy. Hey, you better not walk away from my shop. Well, this is the last one. If you come back tomorrow, it's not gonna be here. You sure you don't want this car, right? Because you're gonna go to that dealership and they suck. They're gonna scam you. You better buy from us. I've seen a lot of that growing up. Now, I can generalize and say, oh, the whole world is like that. But when we look at how sales has evolved and transformed today, because I can still remember how my parents sell, right? It wasn't as consultative as the way it is now. It wasn't as question-based selling as the way it is now. It was more like, hey, here's why you need insurance. Here's all the different policies and options. Pick the best that you fit your budget, that affords your budget, right? Maybe now it's different, but I've yet to hear back then people saying things like, so Mr. Prospect, why are you even considering insurance in the first place? Huh, interesting. Okay, did you know that if you were to pass away, your family would have nothing left for themselves, and unfortunately a high percentage of people go through that and they leave their family and their loved ones with nothing, right? And that's why I respect that you are coming to us and asking for insurance, or that you're even entertaining the idea of insurance. So let me ask you this. I mean, if you were to go, knock on wood, I don't want you to, nothing bad to happen to you, but if you were to go, how much money would you want your wife to have? Oh, you want $1 million policy? Okay, well, if it's $1 million policy, let's say it's gonna cost you like $100 a month. I mean, is it even worth you investing $100 a month for that policy? Right? This is a takeaway. You're asking in a way where it's like, do you even want to spend that much money on your wife's future in case you pass away, right? That's more of a question-based, consultative, takeaway type selling, right? Which is what is happening today in 2023. And so the third way is the techniques, where we've moved away from the old school, slimy, pushy, more aggressive type sales to really understanding people, what makes them tick, and what human psychology should be like, and how you can basically use it and leverage it to your advantage, right? Not manipulating people though, but just leveraging it to help them make a decision, help them believe in themselves that this is the best decision that they've ever made. So long story short, 3 differences. And like I said, I love my parents, I love elders, okay? I love old school selling. I've learned a lot from it. I learned a lot coming from that background too, watching my parents grow up. But I have to say, social selling is here to stay. Social selling is the next generation, and it's going to continue being stronger. So if you want to learn more about social selling, then make sure you check out the link in my description to book a time with me or my team where we can talk to you about our virtual selling system, right? Which is designed, generated over $60 million in sales for clients. I myself have used it to generate over $7 million myself, and would love to show you how you can implement that. And we also guarantee that you're gonna get results. If not, we give you your money back, no problem, right? So click the link in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more videos to come. And I wanna hear your comments and questions too. Just comment below so I can help shoot more stuff that you enjoy watching. All right, cheers.